PUBG Mobile crowned their America's champions, but there's controversy over the last World Champ slot. Riot Games officially responds to the community, and the Call of Duty Mobile NA Champ stunned people for more than one reason.
What in the hell was that?
Maven, I can't breathe!
Call of Duty Mobile World Championship event is set, with the last region, North America, hosting their regional finals this past weekend. And if you didn't catch the competition, you missed an incredible performance and maybe one of the best that we've seen on a single event in mobile esports history. Tribe Gaming ended up becoming the North American champions, but they did so in an amazingly impressive fashion. They actually ended up losing on the first day to fall into the losers bracket, but on day two, something clicked because they ended up sweeping every single opponent that they faced 3-0 en route to the finals, where they beat XSET in two separate matches in order to jump them from the losers bracket and win the competition in two straight 3-0 matches. What an amazing performance. Tribe Gaming has a real knack for getting in early in mobile esports titles sometimes, which allows them to really snag these super talented teams, and something really happened for them on that second day, and they put on quite a display. So cannot wait to see them on the global stage now, facing against the best teams in the regions around the world. There was also an incredible display of talent on the broadcasting booth. This was actually really interesting. Activision ended up bringing in Maven and Golden Boy, who of course are two of the most impressive casters and hosts that you'll find in esports. They're award-winning, both recipients of an esports award for their talents, and they ended up coupling them with Bobby and Hawks, who are two of the most fan favorite content creators in the scene as well. So it was great to have this polish and professionalism on the expert caster's side, and then coupling that with the game knowledge and the nuances of the teams and players with Bobby and Hawks, and it ended up working out really splendidly. So there's a really high bar being set here by Activision with this competition, and I want to see that broadcast quality continue to grow over time as more of these are put on. This was really, again, the first esports production that was put on in the Western market here for Call of Duty Mobile, and they really did nail it, I have to say, for both the EU and North American regions. Now, this Tribe Gaming squad did leave people's jaws on the floor for the incredible display of skill, but there was another moment that happened during this broadcast that also left people's jaws open and speechless, and I have to share that with you. I don't even know how to preface this, but we got some insight into Tribe Gaming's team communications, and just listen to this. It was amazing.
Maven!
What in the hell was that?
Maven, I can't breathe! Hold on, give me a second.
I don't think someone got the wires crossed on audio, because that could not have been, that wasn't elicited. That was, we just hopped into like a preschool with like kids battling over a box of crayons.
I don't even know what to say about this. People were speculating on Twitter that maybe they came up with a different language just so people wouldn't steal their strats by listening in. I don't know, but it's working for them clearly. They swept everybody again on that second day, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I will say this does strike me as something that is consistent with a trend that I've seen in mobile esports, which is at the beginning of these esports, you get ahead because of quantity, and then at the end of the esports, as they start to mature over time, it becomes more important that you bring quality to your strategic preparation and gameplay. So really at the beginning, it's the players that play the most, that are really grinding actively, that end up developing a skill gap between the rest of the competition. And that's also true for communication. So the ones that are really actively communicating and over communicating now are ahead of ones where the voice calls are silent. And that in and of itself sometimes leads to you getting an advantage. But if they're going to mature and continue evolving as this esport grows, I definitely hope that they continue trending toward that quality, constructive conversation. And I did see also on Twitter, I think they connected with a CDL coach, which might be able to help them with their comms, which is excellent to see too. So congratulations to Tribe Gaming's Call of Duty Mobile team. It was an insane performance. What you guys are doing is really working, and cannot wait to see you continue to grow. So Stage 5, the Call of Duty Mobile World Championship event, is set. There's not been a date released for this. There is still kind of like a lack of communication as far as the core information about the event and what's going on with it. It had been speculated in the past that it would be a live event. At least that's some text that was left inside the app somewhere that suggested that. But at this stage, there's no information about a live event, so it would be a difficult thing to pull off. If it is, it would have been happening in LA. But what we do know is that 8 teams have qualified for this next stage, including the South Korean champions that got signed by T1. Also, rumors on the street are that they're not going to be the only organization that's signed before Stage 5, so cannot wait to see that as well. It's going to be a $750,000 event. That's quite a chunk of change being handed out at this competition, and we don't have a date set, but definitely expect to see the similar types of pairings between CDL casters and content creators, and cannot wait for this event to be held. Buckle up for this one because we are talking PMPL Americas, and it was a roller coaster. Now, this is the regional competition with North America and South America that determined who would qualify for the PMGC, which is the $2 million global championship for PUBG Mobile. And it was interesting to say the least. Now, Loops Esports did run away at this competition by finishing in first place by a really significant margin. They doubled some teams' kill points and ended up with a 90-point margin between them and second place. So really impressive performance there, but there was controversy over who would be the third place finisher at this event. Now, it was between A7 and Execute, who ended up finishing tied at 156 points on the leaderboard for third place. But it was A7 that won the tiebreaker over Execute in order to be announced as the third place finalist for the PMGC. However, an issue was raised shortly after this competition concluded about whether or not Execute encountered a glitch where they killed someone in game but were not awarded a point. And would that be a consequential point or what? If this ended up getting reversed and Execute was awarded that point because of situations outside of their control, they would end up being the third place finisher and move on to PMGC. However, if they weren't awarded that point, they would remain in fourth and be left out of the $2 million competition. Now, this happened to a player who's really well known in the North American scene, Zute, who was actually a late add to Execute. We reached out to him this week as it was developing. Turns out he's in China now for a $1.7 million Peacekeeper Elite competition. But we ended up connecting with him, and here's what happened.
Nobody outside my team knows this, so you're like the first to hear about this outside my team. But somebody DM'd me, and he said, "Hey, did you get your kill point for that one kill you had on day number 2 on Sandhawk?" And he sent me a screenshot of me killing King A. There's like this glitch that rarely ever happens, but if you knock someone, the second they're about to go into the water, it might not count your kill point. And that's when I realized holy shit, and we just need 1 point. I went back and I told the team, and we were all like, holy shit, who recorded, who kept their recording? None of us kept our recording. And it was just like, but then, sorry if I'm swearing.
I'll bleep it out.
Yeah, you can edit in the bleeps. But yeah, so we hit up Tencent. We gave them everything we could find, from the stream itself. We gave them, whatever we had. And then it took a couple days. But then they're so after reviewing, the footage and after, they were super professional about it. They didn't give anything away. And then they said, you guys will get the point and you guys will get that third place spot. And I was like, oh my gosh. Afterwards, I told them, why couldn't you just tell me in a message first? Because this whole time I'm holding my breath out here.
Yeah.
And so nervous, but yeah.
I tell you what, this team strikes me as one of those teams that you just don't want to face in the next round because you literally have nothing to lose. You almost weren't there. And so all the pressure's off. There's a weight off your shoulders.
It was a Cinderella story for the team Execute, right? From PMCO to PMPL to PMGC, and we beat out so many veteran teams. I'm really confident with the way the team was headed all throughout PMPL. So now we just got another stage to prove ourselves and more time to get even better.
Cool, man. I love that message. And listen, just so appreciate your time on this. I know that you're busy right now with traveling and getting ready for this next competition, man. But I wish you the best of luck. We're all rooting for you.
All right. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Late breaking news, Tencent has officially announced that they're going to be opening up this global championship event in order to let both A7 and Execute in. So love to see this, especially with it going to an online format. It's a lot easier to add one more squad, and certainly both of these teams are deserving given the controversy at the end. So this is going to be a huge development. This event has even more stacked teams now. Again, it's a $2 million competition due to take place in late November, I believe the 24th, and cannot wait to see all of these teams on board. This is going to be a heck of a way to end the year in the mobile esports industry. Our first ever update on the show. If you watched our last episode, you probably caught the segment on Wild Rift talking about how there were a few regions in particular that were a bit upset about the delayed launch in their region. So Riot recognized this and put out a piece of content specifically talking to players in those regions to help, first of all, apologize for the lack of communication, and secondly, outline some of the issues that they're facing in rolling out the game. Now, it shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody really that there are complications in launching a game, given the state of the world right now. COVID is just leading to some logistical complications with the servers, with coordinating remote teams on the ground, specifically in these regions that are leading to a bit more of a delay. So totally understand that, and I actually love that piece of content coming out from Riot because it helps make them be a little bit more personal. It connects with the community at a really raw level, saying like, hey, look, we probably should have done this better. We rushed the announcement. We didn't think about these things, because it communicates to them that they're really well intended. And while no one really should doubt Riot's intentions, they've obviously delivered and developed a reputation for what Riot is right now for a reason. But sometimes as an ordinary player, it's just nice to see that sometimes. So I love that being made explicit. I think that everybody generally responded very, very positively and is a lot more understanding now about the release schedule. So update coming for you on that, and I actually really love to see that communication from Riot. There have been so many developments since the last episode. Let's try to get to as many as possible. Critical Ops wrapped up their esports circuit, one of the OG mobile esports titles, even going back to 2016. It was them and Vainglory in the West, so great to see them back in action. Hammers ended up winning the North American region, Rain took Europe, and Evil Vision took South America as a region. Love what Wadi and the Critical Force team are doing over there with Critical Ops. Still one of the most smooth FPS games you'll find on mobile, and love their grassroots approach. Backbone, which is a controller connection for your device with some pretty powerful software, ended up launching. They've got some celebrity backers as well. Mr. Beast and Nadeshot behind a lot of other investors like Blake from Ludlow Ventures and Reed from Knight Media. This gives me a lot of strong vibes of the Razer Kishi, which shout out to Kang and the Razer team ended up sending me a product. I absolutely love it, especially when you start talking about cloud compatibility. Being able to use a controller on your device is really fun, and in the end, it may even end up killing some consoles like the Switch, because those games are now going to be available on your phone, which you already have. Love the technology. Eager to try it out myself, though. Blast, which is a popular CSGO series, ended up partnering with Nubia Technologies as a mobile partner for their events. Nubia is the phone manufacturer of the Red Magic product lines. I myself have a Red Magic 5G. I end up using it myself a lot for gaming. It's the first 144 hertz mobile device, and they have a latest phone as well with the 5S, which I believe is going to be the core of their promotions for that league. Love mobile integrations in PC esports. Tribe Gaming ended up signing their second Brawl Stars team. They brought on the North American champions. We featured them in the last episode, so I love to see this team end up taking some more steps. And for Tribe, I think it was more like a, why not? Let's do this type of thing. So they've got their hands full with two really strong teams now. Cloud9 and Tribe both dropped their PUBG Mobile teams. This does not necessarily mean they're out of the esport for good, but this is the off season, so they did release their players. Looks like they're trying to shuffle things up at the very least. Hope to see both of them back next year, though, with new squads. And PUBG Mobile shuts down their servers in India. Now, of course, the game is banned in the region, but there were still questions of whether or not another partner perhaps one that is local to India as a region, would be able to pick the game back up and operate it in the region. It looks like they're just going to go ahead and shut down the servers while they wait and continue negotiating to try to bring this game back. Time is just going to tell what's happening with this game and this region. It's a monumental event that this game got taken out and got the plug pulled in the region, just considering it completely ignited mobile esports in India as a region. It was a phenomenon because of it. So still hopeful that the game will be brought back. In the meantime, people are moving on to other titles. That's it for this episode, but get ready because mobile esports is about to ramp up here in November. We have so many huge events that are going to be concluding their esports circuits around the world. PUBG Mobile has their global championship event, which is a $2 million competition. We've got Peacekeeper Elite, which has a $1.7 million competition ongoing right now. Brawl Stars' World Finals, Call of Duty Mobile's World Championship event. I can't believe that this is real life, that we have so much amazing activity in the mobile esports industry. And I'm not even talking about so many other hot games right now. So we're going to cover them all on this show. Just stay tuned. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And hit the bell, too. You don't want to miss these uploads. And I'll see you back for the next one.